Most people think building muscle after 70 is impossible or at best, a losing battle. But what if I told you the real obstacle isn't your age? It's misinformation. Also, your body is still capable of strength, vitality, and resilience. You just need the right fuel. Today, also, we're going to explore 8 powerful proteins that research shows can outperform eggs when it comes to preserving and even building muscle later in life. These aren't gimmicks, also, and they're not exotic supplements. They're real foods, backed by science that can help you feel stronger, move better, and live longer starting now, also. So if you've been told it's too late, prepare to be surprised. Let's dive right in, starting with the first protein on our list, also, and why it can trigger muscle growth in ways you may have never imagined. Most people have been told that after 70, your muscles are destined to shrink, your strength to fade, also, and your mobility to decline. It's a belief that's been repeated so often it's taken as fact. Friends might say it, doctors might warn it, also, and you might have even noticed some changes in your own body and thought, well, I guess this is just aging. But here's the truth. That idea is not the full story. Yes, also, muscle mass naturally decreases with age, but your body is still biologically wired to respond to the right kind of stimulation and nutrition, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Also, the decline people talk about isn't a life sentence, it's often the result of disuse, poor diet, and the wrong assumptions about what's possible. Science has shown, time and again, also, that older adults can not only slow down muscle loss but actually build new muscle tissue. Also, the process your body uses to repair and grow muscle, called muscle protein synthesis, doesn't just switch off with age, it might slow down a bit also, and it may take a little more targeted effort, but it's still very much active. What changes is the body's sensitivity to protein and activity. Also, that means you might need slightly higher amounts of high-quality protein and consistent resistance or weight-bearing exercise to trigger the same growth you'd get more easily in your 20s. Also, but it's far from impossible. There are remarkable studies showing men and women in their 70s, 80s, also, and even 90s gaining muscle strength after only a few months of the right training paired with proper nutrition. These aren't athletes or lifelong gym goers. Also, many of them start with limited mobility, some having been sedentary for years. Yet when they're given the right plan, they see real, measurable growth in both muscle size and function. Also, this is proof that the body remains adaptable and responsive well into the later decades of life. Unfortunately, also, the reason so many people accept muscle loss as inevitable is because they've been given incomplete information. Also, we often hear about the wear and tear of aging but not about the regenerative power that remains in the body. Also, imagine if more people knew that their muscles still respond to signals, that lifting a weight, walking uphill, or eating the right proteins could literally tell the body. Also, build more muscle here. That knowledge alone could transform not only strength but confidence, independence, and quality of life for millions of older adults. Also, it's also important to recognize that age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, doesn't just affect appearance or athletic performance. Also, it influences everything from metabolism to bone health to the ability to stay active without injury. More muscle means better balance, more stability in the joints also, and a greater reserve of strength for everyday activities. Whether it's standing from a chair without help, carrying groceries, or enjoying a hike. Also, muscle is the silent partner that makes these things possible. And when you understand that you can still build it at 70 and beyond, the conversation about aging changes entirely. Also, when it comes to building muscle after 70, simply eating enough protein isn't the whole story. The quality of the protein matters just as much as the quantity. Also, every source of protein contains a unique pattern of amino acids, which are the building blocks your body uses to repair and grow muscle tissue. Also, some proteins have an amino acid profile that is especially rich in certain key components your muscles crave. And one of the most important of these is leucine. Also, Leucine is a branched chain amino acid that acts almost like an ignition switch for muscle protein synthesis. Without enough leucine, even if you're eating plenty of protein in total the muscle building machinery doesn't get the strong signal it needs to fully activate. As we age, the body's sensitivity to these muscle building signals changes. In youth the system is more easily triggered. Smaller amounts of protein with lower leucine content can still lead to robust muscle growth. But later in life, the threshold for stimulation is higher That means if you're in your 70s or beyond, the same meal that once spurred muscle repair might not be quite as effective. The solution isn't just keep more of the same, but rather to focus on proteins that deliver a stronger, more concentrated dose of the amino acids that truly make a difference. This is where the idea of protein quality comes into sharp focus. For example, some plant proteins may contain less of certain essential amino acids compared to animal-based proteins. That doesn't mean plant proteins are ineffective. It means they may need to be combined strategically to create a complete amino acid profile. By blending the right sources, you can achieve a similar muscle-building impact. On the other hand, certain animal proteins are naturally dense in leucine and other critical amino acids, making them more efficient at signaling the body to grow and preserve muscle. Another factor that influences protein quality is digestibility, how well your body can break down and absorb the amino acids from what you eat. Some proteins are easier to digest and assimilate, which means the muscle-building nutrients reach your bloodstream and your muscle cells more quickly. This is particularly important for older adults because digestion and nutrient absorption can sometimes become less efficient with age. Choosing proteins with high digestibility can give your muscles faster access to the raw materials they need for repair and growth. It's also worth noting that certain proteins don't just help build muscle directly. They can influence other systems that support strength. For instance, proteins that contain specific peptides or bioactive compounds may improve blood flow to muscles, enhance recovery after activity, or even support joint health, which indirectly makes it easier to stay active and keep training the muscles you want to grow. When you look at protein from this broader perspective, it becomes clear that the right choice isn't just about getting enough grams per day, but about selecting sources that work in harmony with your body's needs at this stage of life. When people think about protein, eggs often come to mind as the gold standard. They're convenient, familiar, and packed with essential amino acids. But the truth is, there are other protein sources that can be even more effective for building muscle after 70, especially when you consider digestibility, amino acid profile, and how they work with the unique physiology of an older body. The list of 8 proteins that outperform eggs is diverse, ranging from lean animal-based options to nutrient-rich plant-based sources. Each one brings a different advantage, and together they form a toolkit for maintaining and even increasing muscle mass well into the later decades of life. One example is wild salmon. Beyond its high-quality protein, it delivers omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown to reduce inflammation and improve muscle protein synthesis in older adults. This combination means you're not only feeding the muscles with amino acids, but also creating a more favorable environment for them to grow. Similarly, Greek yogurt stands out because of its high leucine content and its slower digesting casein protein, which provides a steady stream of amino acids over several hours, helping to reduce muscle breakdown between meals or overnight. Then there's cottage cheese, a powerhouse of casein protein that works similarly to Greek yogurt but in an even more concentrated form. This can be especially useful for an evening snack, as it sustains the muscle-building process while you sleep. Moving into the realm of poultry, turkey breast offers lean, dense protein without excess fat, making it easy to meet protein goals without adding unnecessary calories. For those who prefer red meat occasionally, lean cuts of beef, especially grass-fed, provide not only protein but also creatine, which plays a key role in quick energy production for muscles, enhancing the benefits of strength training. On the plant-based side, also, lentils are an underrated choice. While they may not have as high a leucine content as animal proteins, their overall amino acid profile, combined with fiber and minerals, also supports long health alongside muscle maintenance. Pairing lentils with a complementary protein, such as quinoa, ensures a complete set of essential amino acids. Also, quinoa itself is unique among plant foods for being a complete protein, and its digestibility makes it suitable even for those with sensitive digestion. Also, another exceptional plant-based option is soy protein, particularly in fermented forms like tempeh. Also, soy contains all essential amino acids and has been shown in studies to be just as effective as some animal proteins in supporting muscle protein synthesis when consumed in adequate amounts. Also, its phytonutrients also offer additional health benefits, making it a multi-functional choice. Finally, whey protein isolate deserves a place on this list. Also, while it may not be a traditional food in the sense of a whole ingredient, its high leucine content, rapid digestibility, and proven track record in stimulating muscle growth make it one of the most efficient tools for older adults aiming to rebuild strength. When muscles are strong, the benefits reach far beyond the mirror or the gym. In older adulthood, the strength built from quality protein and consistent movement translates directly into independence, safety, and a richer quality of life. One of the most immediate improvements people notice is balance. Strong muscles in the legs, core, and hips provide stability when walking, turning, or navigating uneven ground. This stability reduces the risk of falls, which is one of the most common and dangerous health threats for adults over 70. Even small increases in muscle strength can make the difference between catching yourself during a stumble or ending up with an injury. Daily strength also plays a crucial role in performing routine tasks without strain. Carrying a basket of laundry, lifting a bag of groceries, or bending down to pick something up from the floor may seem ordinary, but for someone with weak muscles, these actions can cause fatigue, discomfort, or even injury. When muscle mass is preserved or rebuilt, these same tasks feel lighter, movements become more fluid, and energy lasts longer throughout the day. Joint stability is another critical benefit. Strong muscles act like shock absorbers for the joints, reducing the wear and tear that comes from repetitive use or sudden movements. For someone with arthritis or past injuries, building surrounding muscle can relieve pressure on vulnerable areas, helping to improve mobility and decrease discomfort during activity. This allows for a more active lifestyle, which in turn supports even greater muscle retention and overall health. There is also a powerful connection between muscle health and posture. With age, weakened muscles can contribute to a forward, leaning stance or rounded shoulders, which can make breathing more difficult and create strain in the neck and back. Strengthening the postural muscles, especially in the upper back, core, and hips, helps maintain an upright alignment, making it easier to move, breathe, and engage with the world. A stronger posture often comes with a boost in confidence, as people naturally feel more capable and energized when they stand tall. Strong muscles also help maintain a healthy metabolism. Muscle tissue burns more calories at rest than fat tissue, so keeping or increasing muscle mass supports weight management and energy balance. This becomes particularly important after 70, when metabolism tends to slow. By preserving muscle, you help counteract that slowdown, making it easier to maintain a healthy body composition and prevent unwanted weight gain. Beyond physical benefits, the confidence that comes from functional strength can open doors, socially and emotionally. Many people feel hesitant to join activities, travel, or engage in hobbies when they lack the strength to participate fully. Building muscle changes that. It means being able to walk comfortably through an airport, join friends for a hike, or work in the garden without constant breaks. It means the body is prepared, not just for planned activities, but for the unexpected moments that require strength, quick movement, or endurance. The process of building or maintaining muscle after 70 doesn't require dramatic overhauls or complicated regimens. In fact, the most powerful results often come from small, consistent changes that add up over time. The body responds to repetition, and when you give it the right signals often enough, it adapts in ways that can surprise you. One of the simplest shifts is making sure each meal contains a meaningful amount of high-quality protein. This doesn't mean drastically increasing total food intake. It means being intentional about what's on the plate. Replacing a low-protein breakfast of toast and jam with Greek yogurt and berries, for example, can turn a missed opportunity into a muscle-supporting start to the day. Consistency matters because the body's muscle-building machinery works in cycles. Every time you consume enough protein, you give your muscles the raw materials to repair and grow. If you go long stretches without it, the body draws from existing muscle to meet its needs, which over time contributes to loss. By ensuring there's a steady supply of amino acids throughout the day, you keep the body in a more favorable state for muscle preservation. This is why spreading protein intake evenly over breakfast, lunch, and dinner tends to be more effective than getting most of it in a single meal. Small adjustments can also apply to physical activity. Many people think only long or intense workouts count, but short, regular sessions of strength-focused movement can have a remarkable impact. 2 sets of bodyweight squats while waiting for the kettle to boil, a few resistance band pulls in the living room, or carrying heavier grocery bags on purpose are all ways to nudge the muscles into action. These micro-challenges send a constant reminder to the body that strength is still needed, encouraging it to hold on to and build more muscle tissue. It's not only the amount and timing of protein that matters. Variety plays a role too. Rotating through different protein sources ensures you're getting a range of amino acids, micronutrients, and health benefits that support the whole body. One day might feature salmon at lunch, the next day lentils at dinner, and another day cottage cheese before bed. Each source offers something unique, and over weeks and months, that variety contributes to better results than relying on just 1 or 2 foods. Another subtle but important shift is pairing protein intake with the moments when your muscles are most ready to use it. After a bout of physical activity, muscles are especially receptive to the nutrients you provide. Even light activity like a walk, gardening, or climbing stairs primes the muscles to take up amino acids more efficiently. By placing a protein-rich snack or meal soon after these moments, you help your body recover faster and respond more strongly to the activity. Over time, these well-timed meals and snacks become part of a reinforcing cycle. Activity supports protein use, and protein supports further activity, leading to steady progress without dramatic lifestyle changes. Strength is not just a measure of physical capacity, it is a statement about possibility. Reaching 70 or beyond does not signal the end of your body's ability to adapt and improve. The muscles you have today are not fixed assets. They are living, dynamic tissue that respond to the choices you make. The message that it's too late has discouraged countless people from even trying, creating a self-fulfilling cycle of inactivity and decline. But when the truth is understood, that cycle can be broken. Your best years of strength are not necessarily behind you, they can still be ahead, built on a foundation of deliberate action and consistent care. It begins with recognizing that age is not the main barrier, inaction is. Every time you choose to give your body the right fuel and movement, you are sending a clear biological signal that strength is still needed. Muscles do not care how many birthdays you have celebrated, they care about whether they are challenged and nourished. Studies on older adults have repeatedly shown that even in those who've been inactive for decades can build significant muscle mass and strength within weeks of starting a focused plan. This adaptability is one of the body's most powerful traits, and it does not expire with age. The opportunity lies in making a decision and following through. It is not about chasing perfection or comparing yourself to the version of you from decades ago. It is about realizing that each step, each meal, and each repetition in an exercise is an investment in your future self. This mindset shifts the conversation from loss to growth. Instead of focusing on what has changed over time, attention moves to what can be gained from this point forward. Protein is a critical tool in this process, not just as a nutrient, but as a signal to your muscles that they have a job to do. Pairing that nutrition with intentional strength building activity creates a powerful combination. The sense of progress that follows is more than physical. It affects confidence, independence, and even the willingness to try new things. People who regain strength often find themselves re-engaging with hobbies, travel, or social events they had quietly stepped away from, simply because they now feel capable again. Momentum builds with each success, and those successes start to compound. Standing up from a chair without using the arms becomes easier. Walking up a flight of stairs feels less taxing. Carrying groceries no longer requires 2 trips. These everyday victories are proof that the investment is working, and they encourage continued effort. Progress becomes a self-reinforcing loop. The stronger you become, the more you can do, and the more you can do, the stronger you become. Reaching a point where movement feels effortless again is not a fantasy, it is the natural outcome of consistency, even when the steps feel small at first. The human body rewards effort at every stage of life, and the later years are no exception. Every action that supports muscle health today shapes the kind of life you will be able to live tomorrow.